have you tried solving 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th number question and 12th also? Has anybody tried this? Hello? Can you hear me? Have you all tried these questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will start with 8th one only.
Yes, ma'am.
So you tried. Okay, good. So what it asks is at most, that is at most means maximum. Maximum, so how many maximum triangles can appear by adding two straight lines to the figure? We have to come up with a kind of a graphic which delivers us maximum number of triangles that can be derived by just adding two straight lines. Anybody wants to give suggestions on this? How do we add the two straight lines here? Yes.
Ma'am, on the top and bottom.
Okay.
One at the top.
Okay. So somebody was saying, sorry, like this and like this. Is that right? Okay. So the straight lines will be will make how many triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 is the number of triangles that we'll get in this kind of combination. Is it possible to change this? I mean, do we get any different kind of combination? Can we work out a different kind of combination to get more triangles, or 6 is the maximum that we get?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, if we make the line at the bottom, instead of that, if we make a line crossing the triangle on the right, then we can get more, I guess.
The line crossing the triangle on the right. Yes, how?
Ma'am, can I annotate it?
Yeah, you can. You're not able to annotate?
Ma'am, wait a minute. Ma'am, something like this, but it should start from this point instead.
Okay, so
Ma'am, we can make two diagonals instead of one.
somebody is saying like this.
Yes, that way we can get, I think, about 8 triangles.
Okay, so like this and like that, Esa?
Yes.
Okay, so how many triangles we get in this combination? So single triangles are, 1 second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Anything more?
Ma'am, but that
one is not a
be
triangle.
Sorry?
Oh, the one below is not a triangle, I think.
Oh, just sorry, 8. Yeah, this is a no, this is not a triangle there. So 8. 8 we get in which case? Right? Is there possible here? Is there any other combination? So 8. So pehle somebody said 6 with one combination. In this combination, we get 8. Okay. Chalo. 8 we have reached so far.
And we can slightly lower the diagonal so that we get triangles on the top as well.
Lower the diagonals. Okay. How do we lower the diagonals? Can you annotate?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Chalo, let's see Ismail, how many you get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Anything that I missed? Yeah, 10. And the same triangle on the opposite side. This one, 11. Sorry, 1 second. I think I counted this here. I think
Yes.
yeah, so the 10 is the one. Sorry, I do this mistake. 10 here, basically. Okay. Anybody can think of a combination more than 10, or this is the final one? So yes, let me tell you, the correct answer for this is 10. So this is a good combination where one draws like this and like this as the two diagonals. There is also another possibility where you draw the triangle like this. If maybe you will get 10 itself. So 10 is the maximum, irrespective of what combination you take, like this, or you take the alternate combination that somebody else had suggested, the orange one, which I'm drawing right now. Yeah. In both the cases, you will be getting 10, and more than 10, it's difficult. It's not possible to get with just addition of 2 lines. Okay. Or even on the opposite side, the mirror side is the same, but I am be drawing, if I want, if you want, I can draw it like this. Yeah, you take it like this. Either of the combination, 10 से ज़्यादा नहीं आएगा आपका आंसर में. So 10 is the correct answer for this question. Is that clear? Anybody has any doubt? Students? Okay. The next one, you're given these two motifs, P and Q. Of these different combinations, the motif P and Q are different from each other. So if you even rotate, mirror, I mean, they are opposites of each other. They are very distinct from each other. In this combination, which is R, you have to find out how many motifs are distinct. They are different from each other. So P, in case of P, there is evident difference between both the things. Of course, flips and rotations are possible in this in this larger motif. So you have to find which are distinct from each other, which aspects are distinct from each other. So in this kind of question, what we generally do is we start with one by one. We start with the first row, we go to the second, the third, likewise. So first, P and Q are just an example. So let's just keep that aside. So we take the first motif. Yes, this will be different. Of course, it's the first sign. The second, it runs in a cyclic order. All the lines are running in a cyclic order. In this case, the second motif is that you see is also different because this is going down and this is also going down. Yahan pe it is all in a different manner. So this is different. Is the third one different, or is it similar to what you saw earlier? Can anybody?
Similar.
Sorry.
It's similar to it's different, ma'am.
It's different. It's similar. It might be similar to P, but it is different. Okay. ये दोनों से तो अलग है. The first two that we saw, this is different. So this is also a distinct motif. Is this, have you seen this? Is this similar to what you have seen earlier? No, right? ये अलग है. From the first, from the second one, this is different. So even this is there. Have you come across this kind of motif earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
It is similar to the first one.
It is similar to the first one. Is that's what you're saying? But just one question to about it. ये यहाँ से ऐसे चालू होता है, ये यहाँ से ऐसे चालू होता है. So is it, should we consider it to be different or should we consider it to be the same? Sure.
Different.
Sorry. Different or same? Sorry.
It will be different.
It is different. The rotations might be in the anti-clockwise direction. So I will consider this different. The last one in the first row, this one.
It is
Same.
similar
It
to
is same. Yeah, it is same to the first one. So we won't count it. Then in the second row, first one. Have we come across something like this here?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Have we come across something like that? ये आया है, देखा है आपने? Here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This one also you come across in the first one here. Same है?
Yeah.
Okay. ये अलग है कुछ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This is different. This is also different. Or is it same? Have you come across something like this earlier?
It's different.
This different. ये वाला you come across, you've seen this here happening here.
Yes.
नीचे वाले में this one, have you seen? Have you come across? It's different, right?
Different.
ये वाला you have seen happening somewhere here. This and this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This one is similar to what you see next to it. So even this is same. This has come earlier. This is not distinct. Have you come across this pattern?
Yes, ma'am. Right above it.
Second. This one also. ये वाला देखा है? We saw this here. This and this. And you've seen this one also. यहाँ पे. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 distinct patterns are there in the larger combination R, basically. So you don't have to do any trick. You don't have to follow any logic in this kind of cases where you're supposed to guess which are the motifs that are distinct. As this kind of questions are asked, and there's one more kind of question which we'll be discussing today itself in this paper on similar lines, where you'll be shown similar looking graphics made of different parts. They look similar to each other, like what we saw in this case. But all you have to do is just go point by point by point by point. There is no technique here involved. It's just a matter of observation. Okay. Go to the next one here, 10th number. There's a family of 4, grandfather, father, son, daughter. All these 4 people, they are caught in a heavy rain and are stranded at a bus stop close to their home. However, they only have one umbrella with them. The umbrella can take maximum 2 people without either of them getting wet. The 4 members of the family take different times to walk from bus stop to home. The grandfather is the slowest of all, who takes 10 minutes. The father takes 5 minutes. The son takes 2 minutes, while daughter takes only a minute. What is the minimum time? Minimum we have to find, not the maximum, not the intermediate, but what is the minimum time For all 4 members to reach home without any of them getting late, getting wet. So what we are given is, one second, yeah. There are 2 boxes I'm making. One is a box of a home and one is a box of a bus stop. The father, grandfather, son and daughter, they are all at the bus stop and we have to make them reach home. इसमें से father takes 10 minutes. Sorry, father takes 5 minutes. Sorry, yeah, father takes 5 minutes. Grandfather takes 10 minutes to walk to reach one way. Son takes 2 minutes and daughter takes 1 minute. What is the minimum time that the whole with how much is the minimum time within which the whole family will be able to reach home? Do you all want to give a try once? Just for 5-10 minutes, can you give it a try?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Oh.
ma'am.
Okay. Excuse me.
Ma'am, can you please check the chat box?
Chat box. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I have one for this Moni. I have a different answer. Okay. I will get back to you. How did you arrive at 10? But I feel it's a little bit difficult, but let's see, because 10 minutes, you're written 10, but 10 minutes is the time that the grandfather will take. Minimum time that the grandfather will take to reach from bus stop to home. So if you're taking 10, matlab, only 1 person or 2 person will be able to reach home in 10 minutes time. So it's difficult, your answer that way. You're saying 100 minutes? Okay, that is wrong.
Ma'am, I think when we were in previous standards, we used to do this kind of sum with LCM and HCF. So
Acha, nahi, this is wrong. 19 also is wrong. Whosoever is people, a lot of people are saying 19, but that is wrong. Okay, chalo, let's do it. So first, how we will start is, first let's just take the 2 people who are the fastest. Let's start with the 2 people who are the fastest, which is the son and the daughter. Let the son and the daughter, okay, it's okay. Let the son and the daughter, let them reach home. They will take 2 minutes, sorry, not 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay.
Ma'am,
Who is this? Hello? Okay. Now the son and the daughter, they will go from the bus stop to home in 2 minutes time. Then the daughter will return back, because we are saying the minimum time, the daughter is the fastest, so she has to do the maximum exercise. She will be returning back in a minute to the bus stop. Now what will happen is, now the next person who should go, should the father go or should the grandfather go?
Father.
Father. Okay, you're saying father. All right. What if I tell you that, what if at this stage, what if the daughter stays at the bus stop and she asks the father and the grandfather to go together? So first the son and the daughter go to the home. 2 minutes they take to reach home. The daughter comes back in a minute. She reaches the bus stop in a minute, and then she asks the father and the grandfather together. So we have son here and we have daughter here, and the father will also be here and the grandfather will also be here at this stage in point. and the daughter is waiting. What if I say the daughter waits at the bus stop, but the grandfather and the father, they are the one who reach home? So they will take how much time? 10 minutes time to reach home, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when they reach home, the people who are at home are grandfather, father, and son. Usme se the fastest is the son, right? After that, the son goes to the bus stop. He takes 2 minutes to reach the bus stop, where he is with, where the daughter is waiting. And then daughter and son, they both together go back to the home in a same umbrella in again 2 minutes time. So kitna hua? 10 plus 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that way, within 17 minutes, the whole family will be able to reach home. समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? For those who might be getting 19 as an answer, you might have suggested that after the son and daughter come, after the son and daughter, when they reach home, the daughter comes back, you might be starting with the father or maybe the grandfather to reach. So in this case, there is a possibility that the father and grandfather who is taking more time, they can go together. So father ka 5 minutes wala jo time hai, that can be utilized here. Is this clear? Should I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we start in this kind of question where you have to find the minimum time. We start with the fastest people and middle range mein the slowest people, they go together, and then the fastest person, again one of the fastest person who is on the other end, they come back, and then both the fastest people, they go back. That's how we took ahead with this kind of question. Okay, so here you are given how many? 6. Yeah, 6 cards, and each of the card has some or the number on one side and a letter on the other side. So 3 will have a letter at the back, M will have a number at the back, 7 will have a letter at the back, likewise. What is the minimum flips that are required to establish this rule? So we have to prove this rule, say with the bare minimum flips, that cards that have a vowel on one side, always have an even number on the other side. Please note, it is not given that the opposite of this, that even numbers will have vowels on the other side. That is not something that we have to establish, nor it is given as true. What we have to establish to be true is the cards that have vowels on one side. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Those are the vowels. Cards that have vowels on one side always have an even number on the other side. How many minimum flips do we have to do? Yes, Radhika, you are correct. Your answer is correct. Sachi, your answer is wrong. 3 is wrong. Sorry, I flipped it. Sorry. Who was this? Sachi. Sachi's answer is correct, and Radhika's, Kritika, and Aneri's answer is wrong. In this case, the answer is 3. How do I arrive at 3 now? The minimum cards that one needs to flip to establish this rule, that is true. Cards that have vowels on one side have even number on the other side. In this case, there is a possibility that the cards with the cards which have even number on one side may or may not have vowels on the other side. May or may not have vowels on the other side. जहाँ पे भी even number है, may or may not have vowels on the other side. So I won't flip this. Why I won't flip this is because I'm sure, okay, if I flip this and if there is if 8 doesn't have a vowel on its back, then this statement will be false. So I don't want to flip 8 because I'm unsure whether or not 8 will have a vowel or it won't have a vowel. Because if it doesn't have a vowel, then this statement becomes false. So that's why I won't flip 8 at all. Next, I don't require to flip any other letter besides vowel, because I'm not going to get anywhere with this in order to prove this statement. I won't be going anywhere in order to prove this statement if I'm flipping any other letter. So M and R, which are not vowels, they are not of use to me. The remaining one, E, which is a vowel, I will flip it, and it would have some it would have an even number. So eventually proving this kind of rule. E is something which is of my interest because I have to know, okay, vowel here, so vowel will have a even number on the backside. So if I have to prove this and the statement is given from somebody else, which means that it will be true. But the flip side of it may or may not be true, saying that even numbers will always have vowels at the back. So that's why I didn't choose 8 to flip, but I will choose E to flip because it's a vowel and it's given. The odd number 3 and 7, I will flip it and it will have some kind of letter on its back. It won't be a vowel for sure, because the cards that are given here will be aligned with reference to this kind of statement given. So once I flip 3 and 7, 3, 7 and E, this kind of statement will be revealed. 8 is 8, I won't even touch because I just want to be sure that if there is a vowel if there is no vowel at the back of 8, so that's why I say a big no to 8. M and R are of no interest to me because they are not vowels, nor they are even numbers, not they are odd numbers, which will help in proving me this point. And that's why I will only flip 3, 7 in E to prove this statement. In this case, please note, I went back to the rule. I went in the elimination order to arrive at the answer, saying, okay, what is of not use to me to prove this kind of statement. So I will say I'm not worried of non-vowels. I'm not worried of non-vowels, so I'm not even I'm not even going to touch them. So those are my big no. And I'm not sure about even numbers having some kind of vowel at the back. So I'm not even interested in picking up even numbers, and that's why I eliminated M, R, and 8. The remaining ones which I was left by was 3, 7, and E, which I will flip. And I cannot eliminate further down besides 3, 7, and E because if I just flip one, because in order to prove out of 6 cards, logically I cannot flip one and say I cannot flip just E, which is one card, and say okay, this statement is true, because somebody will always question me, why not choose another card and let's see if this comes out to be false. In order to reinforce that aspect, I might go for 3 or 7. Now, if I'm choosing 3, I will naturally go for 7 because it's an odd number, and there's a high possibility that it will have some non-vowel letter beside it. That's why I will choose 3, 7, and E together, which is 50% of card revealed and 50% of card not revealed, and which gives me a strong standing to prove this statement to be true. Also, the number in terms of flipping things, which proves this, that 50, I have flipped out of 6, I've flipped 50% of the cards which are in alignment to this statement. and 50% are back down. So that way also I have strong reasoning to make this statement to be true. Is that clear? Okay. Yes, no, is this clear? Any doubt? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. I'm I'm leaving this one because it's fairly it's not that difficult to solve. We have solved this kind of questions earlier, and it's from UC 2020 paper and the question 12. I would request you to solve this on your own because it is genuinely not that difficult to solve it. I will let you know the correct answer. So if anybody has any doubts in solving this, they can come back to me and ask. But I mean, after solving these kind of questions earlier, I would humbly request you to try it once on your own. The correct answer for this is 16. 16. If you have any doubts while solving it, you may definitely get back to me the next time when we meet. But is this fine with you, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 13 number question. In 2018, a person spends half the time working, a third time in sleeping, 1/8 in cooking, and the rest in exercising. How many total hours? We have to find the unit in hours did he spend in exercising. Can you solve this quickly? It's fairly easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
$365.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. Has anybody else solved this?
Yes, ma'am. 365.
365. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, do you all, does anybody want me to solve this, or should we go ahead with this? If you want, we can solve this here. Does anybody want me to solve this here?
Ma'am, can you solve it once?
Okay, take. See, yeah. In this case, 2000 year 2018, it's not a leap year. If you divide 2018 by 4, you will be getting in decimals. The number you will be getting will be in decimals. So the total number of days that are there in the year 2018 is 365. So I will say T is 365. Okay. So then I will start making an equation saying T divided by 2. 2 is right. Yeah. 2 dt T divided by 2 plus T divided by 3 plus T divided by 8 plus x is equal to T is total. Is that correct? Can we get this kind of an equation? When you solve this equation, you will be getting a value of T in terms, you'll be getting a value of X in terms of T. So X would be equal to T minus t by 2 plus t by 3 is 6 to 2t, 5t by 6, 5t by 6 plus t by 8. Just solve this, please. And after solving this, you will be getting some value of t of x in terms of t as a ratio. You have to replace t by 365 multiplied by 24. So when you the value of x will be in days. So this is days. And when you multiply days into 24 hours into 24, you will get the number of hours. It will come to 24. Sorry, 365. Yeah. You just have to solve this equation and you will arrive at
3T days.
huh?
3T days.
3t. How 3t?
The LCM will be 24.
3t days. Are you sure? Because it's t, which is a whole figure minus this whole thing.
But ma'am, T will be 24 upon 24 because without LCM it cannot be subtracted.
Just 1 second. Let me try solving this only. 850t. You will get 0.05.
At 20
Sorry?
T by 24.
You are saying t by 24, right? So t by
Yes.
24 days aega na? Hello?
Yes.
So t by 24 days multiply by 24 will make it hours. You're saying x will come to t by 24 days, which will also be equal to t by 24 into 24 hours. ये बराबर है. This t by 24 days can be written as t by 24 into 24 hours. So t is 365. So x will be equal to 365 hours. That's how 365 came. Hello, is this clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, this is a nice puzzle which is given. This is a very nice puzzle, very intelligent puzzle. If given shape in the figure is used to tile the grid on the right without any overlaps, what is the minimum number of units? Units is squares, which will be left uncovered. Flips and rotations are definitely allowed here. It's a very nice puzzle. Can you give some time and solve it? It's a very beautiful puzzle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so your answer is correct. 147. Ajay, it's reference to this, right? Okay. Yeah, your answer is correct, Sachi. Aneri, it is less than what you answered. Mahi, your answer is correct. Radhika, it's less than what you answered. Parishri, so applies to you, it's less than what you answered. Okay. Chalo, let's do this. It will take some time to solve. That's why I'm starting here. Okay. So when you're given minimum and without any overlap, so if you look at this kind of pattern, it's a part of Tetris game, and in those kind of games we always use interlocking as a possibility. So in this kind of question, let's just start from the center, where there is some kind of a possibility to interlock things together. So first I will place it like this. This is my first one. The second piece with an interlocking thing in mind, I will place it like this. I hope I'm clear. I'm making it clearly. You're able to see it. The third one, again, I will use the principle of interlocking. I will go like this. The next one, I will place it like this, right? Clear? Can anybody suggest me how will I place the other now? How will I place other pieces? Can anybody suggest me?
I'm in second last row.
यहाँ पे ऐसे एक आएगा. Yes, very good. Correct. So I will place this here. Somebody was suggesting this. Sorry. Somebody suggested to place one here. One I will place the manner in which I have kept it. I will put it like that. You understand ना, right? एक यहाँ पे भी खाली है जगह पे. And then there's one more left, which I will place it here. The remaining part, which are these, this one, and this fourth one. They are the only ones which will be left empty. There won't be any other box which will be left empty outside this. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In this kind of puzzle, use the interlocking system, which is making use of this and this empty spaces. And you will be able, that's how I started. So I started from the center where all four interlocks from the center, and then there'll be some remaining part left here, and left here on the four sides where I accommodated the other four pieces. And four boxes on the four corners are the ones which will be left empty. Okay. Easy, difficult, interesting. Okay, fine. Next question, you are given this rectangular plank and you have to have the minimum cut to divide this into four parts of equal volume. There's a plank and then there is this cutout in the plank, and this whole volume which is there, you have to cut it into four equal parts. And what are the minimum cuts for that? Anyone? What are the minimum cuts? Acha, you written? Sorry, I didn't saw this. Okay. Three, okay. It's less than 3. You are saying cutting planes, okay? These are planes are something which can span till infinity. So think about it closely. Yes, Aneri, you're correct. So what we'll do here is, the correct answer for this is 2. So what we will do in this case is, we will first cut this object right from the middle. Right from the middle along a very big cutting plane. Along a very big cutting plane, we will cut this object. Then what we will do is, we'll get 2 equal parts. When you cut this along this one cutting plane, we will get 2 equal parts, correct? Something which will be divided like this. Is that correct, students?
Yes,
ma'am.
Then what you do is, then you organize both the parts which you get from this part, from this division, side by side. Then you will be placing both the rectangles side by side. Sorry for the very wrong drawing. I will place both the rectangle pieces side by side like this. And then I will take an even bigger plane. I will make an even bigger cutting plane. 1 second. Which will cut through both these parts equally again. So that way I get 4 equal parts. समझ में आया क्या किया? So I first made this black, I first used this black cutting plane to cut this object into 2 halves, which is 1 half here and another half here. Then I laid both the halves side by side like this, 1 half and another half here. And then using this red plane, which is an even bigger cutting plane than the black one, I will cut that exactly from the middle here. That way I will get 4 equal pieces, 4 volumes of, 4 parts of equal volume of the same object. Is that clear? Doubts? Confusion hai? Doubt hai here?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can we cut it diagonally?
Okay, you're saying, 1 second. Diagonally.
I'm the other diagonal.
Okay, like this. Huh?
Yes.
But in this case, this volume is different and this volume is different, right?
Yes, ma'am.
तो अलग अलग volume होगा ना. So 2 objects will be of the same volume. 1 object will be of a different volume. Sorry, 2 objects will be of the same volume and 2 objects will be of similar volume. 4 equal parts नहीं आएगा फिर.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubts? Anybody has any doubt here? Okay, ठीक है. This is a different. We have done this kind of question earlier. You want to solve this? Or should we move to the next one? So let's just quickly solve this. How many differences are there between the two objects which are shown here? Very intricately drawn. There are not clear differences that you will see in the first glance. You have to go into every object. In this case, start from the thali, then move to the bigger object which is here. So start from the thali, start with the minute bowls which are there one by one. Go bowl by bowl, one bowl by other bowl by another bowl. Here you will see that this is missing. So start marking things like that. Go bowl by bowl by bowl here. One bowl, second bowl, third bowl, likewise. So, okay. Let's start with the first one, which is this jar that is seen. So yeah, the straw is weird. The straw is weird. There is nothing wrong with that, this kind of mug that is there. This is missing here. This is missing here, which one can see. This this file is same. This file is same. This is again same. This bowl is same. There's a I mean, a spoon or a fork is missing here, which one can see. The cup is similar. The two bowls, yeah, similar. The fork and the spoon are similar. The chapati similar. Yeah, the bill, which is seen here, the bill which is seen here, they both are of different color. 3 bananas, 2 rolls, and this is same. Okay, watch, samosa, bowl, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these layers are there. This chutney is different, sorry.
Chair.
I cannot hear you. This
Ma'am,
chutney.
the chair.
The chair.
The chair, yes. This one. This one.
And also that boy's teeth. There is one tooth missing.
Here, right? Okay. Anything else that we have missed out besides this? The bowl, the chapati, everything is same here. No, right? That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 differences are there in this figure. That way. Please go element by element by element, because their differences won't be evidently seen as clearly. There were very minute changes. So element essay cases may just go element by element by element. You won't go wrong anywhere that way. Okay. Okay, I'm skipping this because here what you're supposed to count is the number of intersections. Intersections when two lines or curves, they meet each other, they form an intersection, which is a point. So it's a very simple question, but remember to do it from top to bottom. In this case, the mirror is not possible because you see missing lines here, which are not completed. So don't mirror it. Just go from top to bottom. Ye line mein how many intersections are there? How many intersections in this line? How many intersections in the next line? How many intersections in the middle? Likewise, go point by point by point, row in rows. Okay, I'm skipping this, but you can solve it on your own. It's not that difficult. The correct answer is 44. So just try to solving this again. Okay, does that fine, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so this is a similar kind of question that we solved first, that pattern that we saw. So here you are given there are different types of pineapples in the given figure. How many pineapples appear only once? In that case, you are supposed to find which are the distinct patterns, but here you are supposed to say which are the pineapples that are appearing only once, which means that which are the distinct patterns at the end of the day. which are the pineapples which are distinct and they are appear only once. They are not repeated at all. So what do we do here is we check for pineapples which we go from pineapple typology, different types of pineapple which are repeated. So this is an evident case. This pineapple is evident which is getting repeated here, here, here. So let's just take that out. This pineapple is also getting repeated. So okay, that's not possible. This pineapple is also something which we see that kind of pattern happening here. This kind of typology, which is of a crisscross, is also happening here. This typology is seen. This typology is also seen. This typology is also seen. Yeah, this is one typology. Sorry. This is one typology which is not seen. Somebody has marked here. Thank you so much. And another typology is also this one, which is not seen. Just mark with another color. This typology and this type. These two are the only types which are actually not seen anywhere. There's a pineapples we are talking about. We're not talking of strawberries yet, but we are talking of pineapples. These two are the only typologies which are not getting any, which are not having any sort of repetition. Otherwise, a lot of typologies are still, this is also getting repeated here. This is also getting repeated. We counted this earlier here. This was also getting repeated here. So this was this one that we saw is repeated here also, here also. So these two are the only typologies left behind. Is this clear, students? Do you have any doubt? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm not able to move. Yeah, okay. These are multiple selection, which means one or more answers are possible here. So we have solved this kind of question. Can you solve this on your own? The 19th number question. We have solved this kind of question earlier. Can you do it on your own? Is that fine or it's difficult? Students?
Ma'am, we can try.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So yeah, okay. So you're given this paragraph and there are some questions that are asked. So based on what is written here, which of the following statement is true of the paragraph, true is or are true of the paragraph below? Just take 5 minutes to read this. And please remember not to make any assumptions in this kind of questions. Stick to what is given, what is written about. Don't make any logical assumptions. And just stick to what is given. Let's take 5 minutes to read this first, and then let's go statement by statement. Yes, Moni, you're correct. Okay, so what I will do is I will underline certain things based on what the options are saying. The statement. So what I'm doing here is I'm underlying certain things which are in relation to the options that are being talked about. So based on what I've underlined and what the options are talking about, can anybody let me know what they feel is the correct are talking about. So first statement, let's go statement by statement. First statement says Tuckle, this person Tuckle argues that children get confused when encountering computational artifacts and mistake them as human-like. Anybody wants to say anything about this, if it is true or not? Anybody wants to say anything with regards to this, whether if it is true or not?
It is true.
Have you read this? Okay, if I read the blue line and also the series which and also that the orange line, no, sorry, also the red line. Do you feel it's true or right, false? The first one, A. Anybody wants to say anything about it? Can you hear me? So he's here saying children get confused when encountering computational artifacts and mistake them as human-like. What is given here is, here studies include examination of the impact of computer-based artifacts on children's conception and the different categories, blah, blah, blah. In dealing with the question, the computer-based objects evoke children make clear that differentiation from physical children make clear that differentiation of physical from psychological entities, which as adults we largely take for granted, and is the end of process is the end of a product of a process of establishing the relationship between the observable behavior of a thing and its underlying nature. Children have a tendency to attribute life to physical objects on the basis of behaviors, though they reserve humanity for entities evidence like. Okay. With respect to computational artifacts, children ascribe to them and almost aliveness and psychology while maintaining the distinctness from human beings. What it says is they are almost mistaken to be human-like, which is wrong. The last statement proves it wrong. It is building upon this aspect. Somewhere or the other, the person is hinting at it, and that's why I underlined these 4 different parts here, because they are hinting towards building upon this last point that is made here, where the children ascribe to them as almost aliveness, but they distinct them from human beings, which is what is given here, saying they are human-like. They are mistake them to be human-like, which is wrong. The second one. Tuckle argues that children are able to differentiate between physical and psychological entities by establishing relationship between how things behave, which is what is given, where was the statement? Here, in the red part. This is given, right? Children make clear differentiation of physical from psychological entities. So B is correct because it ascribes to what is written in the red underline here. The next one, Tuckle concludes that children and adults react and categorize computer-based artifacts in a similar manner. Now, if you look at the same red line, it is given that children and adults, they are looking at these things in a different manner. Children make clear that differentiation of physical from psychological entities, while adults we largely take for granted is the end of the product process, which means both children and adults are are looking at the same entities in different manner. One is able to differentiate from physical and psychological, whereas for adults, they don't consider it, like they just don't care about it. So both the attitudes are drastically different, and that's where option C is also wrong. And the last option, Tuckle concludes that children have a hard time understanding computer artifacts, whereas adults can understand these artifacts far more easily. What is given is that children ascribe to them as most liveliness and the psychology, while maintaining their distinctiveness from human beings, a view that Tuckle points out is remarkable, among other things, for its correspondence to views held by those who are artifacts designers. Okay, we are not getting much about the last time that children are having hard time. We haven't yet got that kind of a hunch in the last statement. Okay, let's go here. Children have a tendency, for example, to attribute to life emotions. So they are talking about the purpose. It's still not saying that they are having hard time about it. The middle statement, which talks about children and adults alike, it's still not talking about children having a hard time understanding them. The last statement, the studies include examination, it's still not talking about, it's not concluding this aspect. So I will say in the paragraph that is given to us, the last thing is not established, and that's where I will say this is false. It's not established, and hence it's false. That's where only option B is correct here. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please go point by point. Please look at options which are, don't make assumption basically in this kind of questions. Look at options critically, and based on what information is available in this kind of paragraph based questions, one cannot make any assumptions yet. Okay, we'll just end here. You can try solving this 21. Please solve this 21 question. Try doing it on your own. Option A, C, and D are the correct answer for this. If you don't understand how did I arrive at the answer, you may ask me in the next session when we meet. But please solve this. It's just one question, okay? A, C, and D are the correct answer here, but just try solving how did I arrive at A, C, and D. All right. Is it fine with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. We'll stop this session here. Thank you.